Hey friends, welcome to Word Wednesday. This is Pastor Blair and I hope you are doing well. Um Today we're talking about trust. If you're new to Word Wednesday, it's where I talk about something that God spoke to me about during the week. Or sometime I'm just getting around to recording about it. But yeah, so today I want to talk about trust. And 2 weeks ago, I was in the office and I signed up for a online leadership conference. And that day, I brought a bag of popcorn to work because I love me some popcorn. Oh, upside down, especially Axe. Butter lovers, not a sponsor yet. Anyway, I just love popcorn. My favorite month, and I got a calendar for Christmas that has puns, and I love March because if you can see back there, I don't know if you can see, but there's a bag of popcorn that says "What's poppin'?" And so far, that's been my favorite pun of the calendar. And so it was the day of the conference. I brought popcorn to work. I go down to the kitchen and I plug in the microwave and I open up the bag of popcorn, and for some reason I decided for the first time in forever, I feel like this is an Anna Nelson song, in the first time in forever, anyway, um that I read the helpful hints on the bag, and I want to read them to you today. And so these are the helpful hints on the popcorn bag of Acts 2. Not a sponsor yet. Anyway, it says helpful hints. Popping times are affected by the model, age, and power of your microwave. Do not use the popcorn button. It is normal for some unpopped kernels to remain in a fully popped bag. Do not reheat unpopped kernels or reuse bag. Do not microwave bag on paper, plastic, microwave cookware, or turntable not originally part of the oven. So here was my dilemma. In the last year, I have become very fond of the popcorn button because I put it in for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, like the bag says, and I start popping away. And then step 2 is when it stops popping for 1 or 2 seconds, you're supposed to stop it, because I don't know about you, but for me personally, I'd rather smell a skunk than burnt popcorn. If I had to rank what smells worse, in my opinion, it is burnt popcorn over a skunk any day. But so that I hate it, because you stop, it stops popping. You start counting 1, and then you start to say 2, and then it pops, and then it's like, okay, and then it's like you stop, and it's like 1, and it's like 5 seconds. You like pull it open really fast so you don't burn the popcorn. That's what I do. Anyway, I'm a little crazy. But yeah, so what? So as I put it in there, I pressed the popcorn button because I was like, I like the popcorn button. It takes the guesswork, it senses it, it pops it, and then it's done. When it's done, but it's all about trust. Because every once in a while, when I press that popcorn button, the popcorn stops popping, and it's more than 2 seconds. And I'm with the dilemma. Do I trust the sensor or do I open the door? Do I trust the sensor? Do I open the door? Do I trust the instructions on the bag and not use the popcorn button and toss it in for 2 minutes and 30 seconds and stand there patiently waiting for it to stop popping so I can pull it out so it doesn't burn? That's the things that I contemplated 2 weeks ago. It was all about popcorn. And that turned around to me trusting God and how we place our trust in different things. We place our trust in friends. We place our trust maybe in our bank account. We place our trust in the stock market. We place our trust in different things. But how many times do we truly place our trust in God? And I got thinking about that, about how many times in my life have I been in turmoil because I was wasting time not trusting in God. I spent a lot of time worrying, but not a lot of time trusting. I went to church. I spent a lot of time, but I spent a lot of time being upset about things that I couldn't do anything about. I had this continued feeling of guilt and condemnation and all sorts of stuff all the time. And I go in and out of these seasons still, even as a pastor. I go in and out of these seasons where I'm just miserable. Because it's a lack of trusting in God, because you and me, we both like to be in control in some certain way. But I thank God that I've experienced a radical transformation in my soul, and I don't stay in those seasons, but those seasons do come, and sometimes they last longer than others. So I got really thinking, what does it mean to trust God? And I feel like trusting God is simply believing that He loves you and knowing He's good and He has the power to help you and He wants to help you. Think about that. Trusting God is simply believing that God loves you and knowing He's good and He has the power to help you and He wants to help you. And I think about the popcorn. That microwave has the power to help me make the perfect bag of popcorn. I put it in, I press the button, I just sit back and wait, and I have to do nothing else. Or I can trust myself by putting the bag of popcorn in, putting 2 minutes and 30 seconds, sit there and wait and listen and listen and listen, and at the right time, open the door and do it on my own. And that's the thing that, we like to do things on our own. We like to trust ourselves more than others. We like to trust ourselves because in the past, we may have been hurt by a friend or a coworker or something happened with our parents, and we struggle with trust. And trusting God is simply believing that He loves you and knowing that He's good, that He has the power to help you and He wants to help you. And wait, you may be thinking, well, Blair, you put that bag of popcorn in, you hit the bag of popcorn, and not every time do you get a full bag of fluffy popcorn that's warm and delicious and buttery. You are very correct, because there's times that I've used the popcorn button and the bag was not all flated up like it should be. It's a little flat and there's a lot more kernels than I would have had desired. And I wish I could have repopped those kernels, but I had to trust the bag. Said no. But here's the thing. We like to quantify things. And just because when I look at the bag of popcorn and it's not all the way popped, maybe today I don't need a full bag of popcorn. Maybe I just need 3/4 bag or a half a bag. Maybe when we put our trust in God and things don't work out the way that we want, or God doesn't help us the way that we want, maybe it's not God, that He's not helping us, but He's giving us what we need at the right time, at the right moment, even though we may think we need more. And that doesn't make God any less good. That doesn't make God any less powerful. It just means that God has provided what we needed in that situation. So, John 15:5 said, in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 5, Jesus says that apart from Him, we can do nothing. And we need to lean on Him for help with everything in our lives. And that's the thing. Sadly, a lot of people go to church. I pastor a church. and we hear, or I say, what should we do? And then we go home and we try to do it on our own, and we end up desperately telling God how hard it is and how hard we're trying to do what we need to do, what I need to do. But the thing is, we're leaving him out. One of the greatest things is in college, in my Bible, I had my one of the dean of students. There we go. It's been so long ago. Dean of students, Dean Hobbs. I went to him with an issue, and I was struggling, and he gave me the best piece of advice, and I even had him write it in my Bible in the little note section and sign it and then date it. That's how meaningful it was. And it was this. He said, Blair, you need to stop trying and you need to start training. And I was like, my mind blown. And how many times do we try to do things versus training to do things? So if we really want to put more trust in God, we need to train and stop trying. How do we train? We train by reading the Bible. We train by meditating on the scriptures. That's how we train. And the more that we do that, the more that we'll be able to not lean on our own understanding, but lean on God's, lean on Jesus more, and put more trust in God. And that's what I've been trying to do this whole Lenten season. Some people give up caffeine. Some people give up chocolate, social media, whatever it may be. And my thing this Lenten season was I wanted to not give something up, but do something that's going to make me better. And that is trusting in God more. And man, my life really represents the season of Lent and really having to trust God. And I look at Jesus as this Sunday we celebrate Palm Sunday, and then we go into Holy Week knowing of what is to come. And that's the way this Lenten season's been, that I've been in this season of Lent, this journey, and that God has used the things in my life to really show me what areas I need to trust more. And so I'm hoping that you can dive deep into the scriptures, that you can study the scriptures and to get some clarity about them. If you need help, want some guide about where to study and stuff like that, reach out to me, mention a comment below, and we can journey together as we grow in how we can trust God more and not trust in ourselves as much. Well, that's all I got for you. I hope you have a great rest of the week and hope you do a lot of cool stuff and keep popping along. Take care. God bless. And remember, the best is yet to come.